Okay, so here is a video I want to come about to answer the question that I've been asking myself lately. And I think one of the reasons I've been asking myself this question more and more is because, man, what I am on this journey right now is as tough a thing as I've ever thought I'd ever go through. And so my question is, am I going through a midlife crisis? And then I guess the thing is I needed to define what it was. And the changes that have been going on right now in my life have been pretty dramatic. I left my job, which I guess is usually a sign that someone might be having a crisis. And I started something new and I'm seemingly stressed out, but that's because of things. But anyway, let's go ahead. I want to talk about the YouTube journey at someone 50 and above. And it's only mostly because I don't want to keep asking myself this question without knowing the answer. So I thought it'd be interesting and entertaining because I think this is something I would want to watch if I'm a 50-year-old man or woman starting a YouTube channel, and to talk about what would make an interesting video. So I went on a website, or I did a quick Google search on what is a midlife crisis and what's it like. And I, of course, tune in on men. It could be for women too. There's some different things on it. And I'm not going to go through this whole website because there's a lot of different things that are on here that would take forever to just go through. So what I did find on this website here, and I'm going to leave the links below because I want to cite, this is where I'm getting my information from. And of course, they're trying to sell you therapy as well because people may need it or not. But I want to go over this infographic, and that's what I started to pull. So I'm talking about right now in today's video, it's going to be, is my YouTube journey a form of a midlife crisis? And this is what we're going to be talking about today, because what I found out is it's not necessarily a midlife crisis. And I felt it wasn't, but there are some people who have asked me, are you going through some kind of midlife crisis? Because they thought it was pretty insane that I'm leaving a very high paying job to go in and try on YouTube. But then again, those who don't question it just know me. And I realize if I really thought about who I am myself, there are needs that I need in my life to stay excited about what's going on. And one of those needs is I need change. I get bored pretty quickly and I need to grow. I need to grow mentally. I need to be challenging myself. Otherwise, I just get bored. And it's not that I'm in my mid 50 or my early 50s that this is a midlife crisis that's causing it, because according to this, it does say that midlife crises sometimes start between 40 and 60. And it's the dramatic things that people do that are kind of like hurtful, more so to themselves. But let's go really quickly. Drop in life satisfaction. That has been true because I just wasn't getting challenged. The job got repetitive. It was comfortable, but comfort doesn't really help me grow. So I did decide that's why I wanted to leave my job. And increased sadness. Well, it was sad because I was getting bored every day going to work and not really being fulfilled. The other thing I realized I need is I actually need to be helping people and growing people. That is one thing that drives me. And if I'm not doing that, I don't feel as though I am helping anyone. Then I just don't feel as though I'm getting life satisfaction. So YouTube is one way to hopefully help people, and this is one way to get my outlet going. This excites me. It really does. Spontaneous decision making. I've always been spontaneous. I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I've invested in a lot of stuff. I have a high tolerance for risk. So yes, that's something that's not a sign of midlife crisis. That's just who I am. Focus on change, and there's some things I want to change and other things I don't. So that's not part of me. But ending plans or giving up, that's not another one. Frustration, irritability, work, family, self. I'm not irritable. My wife and I just absolutely adore her. And we have a wonderful relationship. And she is very supportive of me. And I thrive on trying to make this work for us. And becoming withdrawn, absolutely not. I'm actually seeking more friendships now than ever before. So I'm looking to expand my professional network of YouTubers or whatever it might be that's going to get me involved with communication or socialization with other people. The other thing is midlife crisis versus depression. I'm definitely not, I haven't actually looked at this slide because I know I don't have depression. It's more of a challenge. So that doesn't even qualify for me. If you want to read this, you can go ahead and pause the video because I'm going to the next one. The last one is how to cope with midlife crisis. So how to cope with what's going on. And this kind of does have some relevance to what's going on with me right now, because when that self-doubt starts to actually sneak in, it can be frustrating to have to battle with. So recognize my feelings. I recognize that this is the challenge I put myself through, that no matter how tough it is, this is also exciting. And I recognize that. And I have my wife to share my feelings with. I normalize, reframe my feelings for myself. Yeah, I guess I do, but it's nothing bad. But coping with gathering a team, I have my friends and we started meetup groups. And in the last 2 videos, if you were watching those, I did talk about how I am going to be trying to start maybe a live stream, maybe on the weekends on a certain date. If you want to be part of that live stream where I just ask me anything, ask me questions about YouTube. Ask me about being a 50-year-old, leaving your job, your professional job, what I did to get in place, whatever you think I might be able to add some guidance to. Now, remember, I'm not a psychologist and I have no professional training. I'm just going to give you my insights of what happened with me. I'm not going to give advice. Okay, that's anything I say is just, I'm just a YouTuber just talking about life experiences, and you can take it as helpful or not, but just know I'm not licensed to do any type of professional counseling of any sort. Reconsider aging, and that's something that I've been talking about lately with my wife, telling her that coming up on my next 50th birthday number, and she was saying, man, just think about what a blessing it is to be 50 today. 50 is not that old anymore. 70 is the new 60 and 80 is the new 70. But 50 is like the new 40. Really, I'm so blessed to actually be as long alive, have the health that I have, the family that I have. We haven't had really traumatic losses within the family, but we did lose friends. I lost classmates that I grew up with, guys that I was super close with. So I can, count my blessings. I avoid negative coping patterns. I reestablish my purpose. And that's what this is all about, reestablishing. So this, hopefully, it might be helpful to others to know that this is kind of stuff that you can do to reinvigorate your life. Just do something a little different. Appreciate the change, which I really do, and accept that this is a journey, which is funny that it's on, because this is what I named it. My YouTube journey is this a midlife crisis. This is just some babbling I wanted to get out there to let people know that if you are getting to a idea that you want to do a YouTube channel and someone's saying, is this some kind of a midlife crisis? Think about where that source is talking from, because it could be that someone could be thinking that they're afraid that they're going to be impacted, like maybe it's a spouse that you're saying you're going to start a YouTube channel. I would not recommend doing what I did. Seriously, do not leave your job. I would say start, because I started my first YouTube channel 3.5 years ago while working, and then got to this point where I feel comfortable knowing how I would put the system together. And I'm diving deep now for the last 38 days of making these YouTube videos, because I wanted to go to the next level, to test out everything I've learned and just put full focus on it to see what I can accomplish with this. And if I don't accomplish a lot, I also have a profession that I can go back to. I got even a recruiter asking me today if I want to get back into the business, because they're looking for stuff like what I do. So if you have a specialty like that, I would say maybe it's okay, but there's consequences. You have to just remember where you're at. And at 50 years old, please use some common sense. So we've prepared ourselves properly. You can see some of my earlier videos. In fact, even my first one on why I left my job at 51 to start a YouTube channel. And it's because we did set ourselves up properly. So make sure you have all that in place. Make sure that you actually are thinking this through. Make sure you try to get support. If you're single and you don't have support, then, well, just make sure that you're actually in a position to do what you need to do. But this is not necessarily my midlife crisis. And if this is what I would consider a crisis, it's a good crisis. It's a time for a change. And every time I've done something like this, it's actually been very good for me to grow on and expand my journey of life. And I kind of want to encourage, not give advice, but encourage those who are looking to try something new. Try this. Try. Don't leave your job. Like I said, try this on the side, part-time, maybe make some extra income on this. I was making a few $1,000s a month on the old YouTube channel with not a lot of subscribers, with 11,600 subscribers now, but even at 5,000 subscribers when I was making a lot of income off of those channels. So keep that in mind. This is just something I just want to say. For those who are asking, am I just going through a midlife crisis? It's a good crisis if it is, but it's not necessarily a definition of what psychologists call a real midlife crisis. This is a life change, and it is an exciting journey that I'm on, and I hope you can get the excitement too if this is something you want to do. All right, if I've earned your subscription, I would really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to comment below. I'd love to hear some of you guys' thoughts if you're interested in actually doing something like this. If you think I'm actually tricking myself to think I'm in a crisis or not. But my wife would say no. She just said it's about time. She's been waiting for me to go ahead and take another leap and change, because that's my process. I do find significance and I do thrive on change. That's something that I guess Tony Robbins talks about a lot as far as making lasting change. His program talks about having change as something that some people need. Some people need consistency. Some people need some variety. And this is what I need. I need to do both. And this is where I'm at. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.